it was decent, but you could feel like there was a bit more adjustment. But Nausea should feel much more familiar to the Twisted Minds gameplay, or so we hope.
No doubt about it. Here's match number 3 draft here for game 1. And did you hear earlier? He said you'll see him tomorrow. So are they planning this a week in, week out?
Was it tomorrow or next week?
Next week.
Next week,
Yeah.
rather. Yeah.
I hope you guys can join us because I'll watch next week.
Did you
While
see
out
the
late.
They're
reveal?
swapping out every week?
I hope not. I don't know.
Because he revealed it
He revealed
to
it.
everyone,
Right,
if
yeah.
that's the case.
That's a
Sun rises
preview.
when I
So
give
I
the
wonder-
word.
wonder what that strategy is. But for the meantime, strategy dictates that we go Khalid first.
When was the last time we saw Khalid first pick? This
Yeah.
this high of a prio.
It's clearly a deny for Daddy JP, but it's surprising that it's picked first despite the presence of, let's say, the Eve. And you know, the Eve is a very important ingredient to the entire recipe of Liquid if they want to go for their standard gameplay, which is available right now. Let's see if Sanji picks it up here. And so is the Leomord, actually.
Now, Leomord becoming a standard first. Yesterday,
Ooh!
Carl TZ actually
The
insta-locked it,
juicy.
but the Zushin, of course, left out on banning. Most times, he's just picked that up.
These are two important ingredients in the Liquid Stampede.
Yeah.
The Hylos Shin. But look at Twisted Minds. They answer back. The Hylos will get melted by the carry if Twisted Minds have their way.
Draft ran for like 30 seconds, and we're already on number 3 on
Yeah.
red side.
It's been a quick.
That is
So-
quick!
They
So
both know
quick.
what they want.
Oh
Liquid
boy.
here might have to think about what they want to secure for. I guess Carl could be an option here.
Valor and
There
royalty.
you
That's the
go.
Leomord still being picked up.
Excellent.
This is the new Liquid Stampede.
yeah.
Instead of the Fredrin, it's a Leomord.
Yeah, because he's gone. I think he's next in terms of priority for Team Liquid.
Carl
now.
is still the Fredrin man,
Yeah,
right? That's still his.
Carl Fredrin.
Carl Fredrin
Nepomuceno.
Nepomuceno.
His second favorite hero of all time.
That's the first.
Lancelot.
Oh,
It's still
of
Lancelot.
course. I'm sorry for.
How could we? Because we don't see
Slipped
the
my mind.
Lancelot
I don't
anymore.
see it anymore. Yeah,
Yeah.
it slipped my mind. Oh my god.
Mhm.
But yes, we're seeing here obviously a pretty good selection for Team
The
Liquid's
immortal one
mid
chose
trio.
me to vanquish the shadows that plague
Wait,
this world.
that's all MP the King stands.
Essentially, yes. We did see a very successful Guinevere jungle earlier, so they don't want to see that happen here for game number 1.
Also telegraphs that Liquid will pick no more magic heroes because they have no other answers to the Suyo.
Huh.
What does MP play?
Yeah.
So MP has been known to be a very flexible goal laner in the first lane. I think he is the first Leomord in a long time that really made that like a few seasons back, right?
Right.
Or maybe last season. Is that last season?
Or MP just generally has a lot.
Praying
He's
for
just
Bane.
so
praying
bad.
for Bane. Praying for Bane.
Bane?
Yep.
Oh man, don't tease me, man.
Bane together
so
with
good.
the Eve Khalid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh.
Will Twisted debut another new hero for the season?
I wouldn't hate it.
No, because yeah, Liquid are looking like a dive comp as of the moment. Oh, but as we were talking about, there's a lot of options still there for MP the King. One of it being the Nolan, who is gonna be the option. Kaloy has the Khalid, so it's Lansu.
There's Uranus, the first Uranus of season 17.
And of course, it's in the hands of Lansu.
Okay, Daiki, no
There you
Moskov, no Claude, no Harith. The go-to gold lane picks are gone for Daiki.
Yeah, and the carries on the other side where you would want to have it ideally against the Uranus.
Okay, Daiki, are we thinking Leslie here?
Experience the youth
Granger.
suffering.
Oh.
Alright, I tried.
Yeah.
This is very Liquid Stampede.
Yeah, and it still somehow completes what lacks in terms of Liquid's overall lineup, because
Little
again,
burst.
they're going for the Jushin, so they needed the burst, they needed a bit more of the range.
Or boom boom.
Yeah, so it somehow, I think, is very Liquid, and they're very much comfortable with this kind of lineup, whereas Twisted Minds, we see how quick they were to respond to certain picks. We see the idea. It's very, I guess, it's especially given, or because of the Uranus, it's not that aggressive of a start
Yeah.
to expect from them.
Yeah.
Except for the Khalid.
Superfans prediction showing 74% for the Stampede. Hopefully you guys scan that QR code. Maybe you can kind of rewind, get a chance to win 1,000 diamonds. And yeah, enjoy the show with us here tonight for our last match of day number 2. Now, it is Twisted Minds fielding Sean once again. Might be a different story, might be a different feel. Let's see if that's going to happen here in game number 1.
You mean Nausha?
Oh, sorry, no shot. Oh my god, where'd that come from? Sorry, I'm sorry.
I get it. We also used to get...
All right. Let's go into it.
Okay. Interesting. I do recall that there have been instances before where Liquid started to prioritize JP's pick much more often. Well,
Oh, he is here.
Yeah.
Wow.
You work
Oh.
with him in the Kunada Astrid. Oh no, in the Aranata Coliseum.
Aranata Coliseum. Yeah, welcome to the stage, brother.
that was way back.
I can recognize an old Fanny when I need to.
And he pretty much still plays it. I just saw. So wow, welcome. Got lots of guests here. And
See what I tell you, where you gotta be if you want to enjoy esports action.
Yeah.
No! Sanji at half health. JP pops a revitalized.
Ooh,
Kaloy in
Kaloy!
trouble. Kaloy gets
Ooh.
taken down. Daddy JP draws first blood.
That last minute or second decision to use the flicker wasn't a very calculated decision that we got to see from Kaloy right there. Handing over first blood. You have to take note that the Zushin, there have been adjustments to this.
Oh wait, that was an interesting interaction.
What?
Those are Kaloy's former teammates from their campaign in SEA Games 2025.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. They know how Kaloy moves then. They have a really good feel. It's very recent as well.
But Kaloy should
But
have
Kaloy should know
known.
too. Yeah, this is how their mid-duo plays. I should not put myself in this
Yeah,
position.
you can tell the aggression as well.
Shucks, you guys.
The painful part is you also burn the flicker, right? So
Yep.
that's going to be a lot of minutes that you're pretty much safe. TLPH knows this.
Here comes Lansu coming through. Phantom Steed here by Carl Teasy. Sanford to the rescue just to help confirm. Secured by Liquid.
Okay, Twisted Minds gave up that objective. MP the King was on his way to his purple buff just as Liquid were trying to position themselves. All Lansu could literally do was get some information. And so, Liquid, it'll be an equally easy task for them to just read whatever Twisted Minds is planning. There's a slight advantage towards their side. Twisted Minds are yet to actually do something. Unless Nausha...
Oh!
That's pretty painful. Oh,
Real
look at this.
elimination by Sean. No dice coming in. Liquid not having any of it. Kaloy's in trouble. Gets smacked up. Damage from Daddy JP. Quick Sandguard does not get hit. Cool down. Sanford forward. Flicker. Bravest fighter. No one home.
Yeah, that was brutal. And I think they are pretty much happy with the space they've created, the space they bought here. Although Sanford, a little bit of unnecessary flicker there. A little bit, just a few milliseconds late, honestly.
Yeah,
He had the right idea.
Khalid moves really fast. Although the quick Sandguard was already down, it won't be that difficult for him to actually move away from the threat of the Landshaker. Now though, there is an upcoming... Or no, that actually... They could have been moving too fast. We have 39 seconds before the next objective. But so far, the fact that JP and Sanji have always been grouping together and taking control of everything. Oh, okay.
Okay.
MP tried to burst down JP, not having any of it.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a big ask, right? Usually, at this point, if you want to take out JP, you might need like 2 or 3 more extra hands. So, yeah, nice try here. But Kaloy definitely not having a fun time, just making sure that you can secure these side objectives.
A little bit of a silver lining for Twisted. Yes, they did lose the initial encounter, but at least Liquid isn't crossing the river. At least they aren't stealing MP's resources.
So they're still agreeing, or they're still abiding by, this is your side, this is my side.
For now.
For now.
All right, there's MP with the Blade of Heptases, ready to pop dudes. If so, it happens. Carl Teasy securing the orange first. Turtle Dance beginning. It looks like a fair fight. I mean, 50-50 even for Twisted.
That looks like they are crossing the line. Then Sand here. Look at Twisted.
Carl Teasy calls in Barbiel. And Liquid are pushing him in, but MP still secures the turtle. That's a lot of damage rained down onto Liquid, but they're pushing forward. Kaloi bites it. Not before Sanji goes down. 1-for-1 trade. JP very low. JP still alive. Daiki gets bursted down. Flicker's back. Lansu pushing forward. This is what I miss from a Uranus.
Yep.
He's able to just sandbag a lot of damage and give it back as long as the opponents are willing to fight.
Yeah, he knew exactly who to go for. Sanji was already low enough because of the real-world manipulation. Lansu was the guy to finish things off. And right after taking that kill on to Sanji, he just regrouped with the rest of Twisted Minds, and he literally served his purpose of being someone to just annoy the heck out of Liquid.
Hey.
Oh, speaking of annoying.
Nosha, behave. Out of your tier 1.
All right, staying there. Of course, we got Twisted doing a pretty strong one.
Easy, attempting a steal, and he will not get it. Instead, they trade XP for XP.
he does.
MP
Oh, no.
versus Carl. Carl gets money by Lansu. Nosha with the real manipulation, keeping the goat down.
Oh
That's
my
severe
gosh.
punishment coming in from Twisted. Of course, Team Liquid still going to be taking some resources on the top side of the map. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because now they finally crossed the river, but Twisted Minds, they're ready to fight back. They were able to respond against Carl TZ and Sanford, who were trying to take away that orange buff.
Yeah, they're like border patrol here. Hey, someone's crossing into our land here.
Yeah.
Make sure you make them pay. And pay they did.
It's Twisted Minds
Now
now.
they're in the lead.
Now they are actually 400.
Small lead, but you know, the fact that you clap back from the early aggression of Liquid.
Yeah.
That's saying something. And you got a carry that's basically farming freely because
Yeah.
everyone's just so busy keeping their guard post.
Yep, good comeback for Nosha, making his debut in MPL Philippines C17, day number 2. MP gets bursted down by a chunk. Last turtle up for grabs. Lansu going for a beeline to the back line. There is the RWM, the answer to the Phantom Steed. CC Immune coming through. JP dealing out passive damage. Nosha very low, but still in the front line. Down goes 40. Kalui underneath. Nosha gets popped by Sanji.
Oh!
Sanji falls. Hit it out for 2-for-1 here. Twisted Minds winning, given that Liquid did push a little too deep.
Yeah, that's a little too deep. Losing the San duo in the process.
Yeah, and Twisted Minds, they set up for that objective so well. It's always been a trend that MP the King finds certain members, brings them down to half HP, so Liquid aren't at their full potential whenever there is going to be an objective fight. Fortunately, there has been, once again, a very sharp retribution coming in from Carl TZ. They took that objective, but yet again, Twisted Minds, the way they positioned themselves and brought Sanford close under that turret actually benefited them so well. But Kaloi, okay, does have the information. Carl looking for another steal.
Whoa! Glorious pathway combo with a Phantom Steed underneath tier 2. Liquid finds Nosha. And they find Kaloi too. Daiki scores 1. Sanji dunks Lansu. Nosha can only do so much given the range, and they take down Shan too. Traded out for the GOAT. Lansu, very low, flickers back out. Sanji can't dunk him. 3-for-1. Massive win for Liquid.
Literally the stampede. Once they start things up, they just keep it going. And now they are going to take that tier 2 turret as well. I initially thought, I just said it, they are going to potentially go for that steal, but it was actually a pickoff. And it wasn't just a pickoff at that. They actually got 2 members from Twisted Minds alongside that turret.
Yeah, lead be damned, says TLPH. When we start the stampede, everyone follows, and they're looking really good.
It's so difficult for Twisted Minds to make the most of the strong lead Lansu has. Because again, as a Uranus, what do you do best? Peel, deal DOT, but it's very slow. And then what else? You can't stop Liquid from getting to Nosha, to getting to Shan.
Yeah.
And then you're not helping MP exactly do his job.
The best he can do is also just catch the bullets from Daiki, but at the very end, it doesn't even matter, right?
Body block, body block.
Body block, body block.
Yeah.
You know, you're blocking bullets, and after what? After that, what?
Hopefully this becomes a better start for Twisted Minds pre-objective, since Lansu's already here, first to actually get some bits of information, but that's the thing, Twisted Minds, I don't think they have any idea where Liquid are going to come from.
That's one thing he gives is good information, but what do you do with that information?
Right. Can you do anything about that information? That's a big question.
This dance is turning lethal. Lord at about half health. JP getting bursted down. Drops. That glorious pathway. Crimson Beacon by Sanji. Kaloy at half health as well. Sean with a swipe, but they can't stop the goat. Carl Teasy yeets that Lord out. Score for Liquid.
Such a well-coordinated call from Liquid to just go in for the engage, so Twisted Minds are forced to push back just as Carl TZ and Daiki work on the objective. So they literally were just after the Lord. They didn't want to take on Twisted Minds just yet.
That was a phenomenal showing, and there is basically no opening there for MP to actually go for the steal. Just exactly TLPH planned.
Yep. Right now they have the Lord. It spawned immediately. So there are still Holy Shields for Twisted Minds, even though their base turret up top's already exposed. And fortunately, they have been able to defend a majority of their turrets for some time now. Okay.
Alright. I don't think they want to give even more here. So it's the Lord's gonna fizzle out, but we still got big minions on mid.
Glorious pathway. The answer to the tier 1 take in mid. 40 with the flank. Where are they going? JP gets bursted down. Not enough from MP just yet. And I think, all right, they're able to save that Holy Shield.
Yeah.
What a shame it would be if that Holy Shield popped just cause.
Just because, like, one minion, 2 minions, right? So they can keep that defended for a minute and a minute more at this point. So they're going to be happy to take that. Free K goal lead for TLPH. Looking really nasty now in their jungle.
Oh, Crimson Beacon by Sanji. Flickers back out. After the RWM, there is the glorious pathway. Phantom Steed called in. Out easy on his bike. Yeehaw!
Okay. At least for now, Liquid can still afford to do those kinds of engages, I feel. Especially the one we saw previously in that last Lord fight. JP deciding to go in all alone, forcing out a reaction, possibly even the ultimate from Nausea, because he had his Revitalize and Glorious Pathway packed with him still, so he will have a way to get out unless he gets locked down by crowd control. But not until Nausea gets enough damage, already completes or is able to farm up well enough to literally melt the HP of this high loss, then there might be some adjustments needed from Liquid's side.
Is that also the reason why it feels like Liquid is slowing down a little bit on the Stampede?
Yeah.
Or these engages feel like there's a little soft? Maybe a lot more respect for the burst that everything can actually give, the field that Sean can create. It feels like the Stampede from the initial really big wave.
Yeah.
Now they're like more calculated.
Yes. Even you mentioned the rework manipulations have been something that makes the job for Sanji a bit more difficult, because you saw it earlier too when Sanji just tried or wanted to go in, literally use the lantern flares onto certain members of Twisted Minds, but the fact that there is the reload manipulation, you just really can't do as you please. Although there are multiple ways for you to get out. There's a flicker, there's a crimson beacon. You'd want to use it offensively most of the time against this lineup. And they don't get to take away that purple buff.
They do. MP did not secure. I mean,
yeah, Lansu did.
I think it was allowed.
Lansu.
Twisted Minds would have preferred this way because they forced Carl to at least retribution.
At least he didn't get it. You know, a teammate got it.
It went from worst to bad.
Really, you want that, but now we have to get ready for this big Lord fight here. They're still juggling this. They have some tools to burst this down. Nausea looks confident here.
Oh, Twisted, turning this dance into a take. The blitz, Nausea scores. Kaloy gets on out of there. The flicker back, so does Lansu. And now Carl DZ on the Phantom Steed. Not much range for him. Liquid just could not react. Twisted Minds stole that away.
I like how the retribution battles have been really tight.
It's back and forth.
Yeah.
I know. It's amazing to see right now. It feels like there are moments where, are you sure MP the King, you can take it?
Well, it wasn't actually the Retri who got the objective though.
It was
Nausea, right.
But you get
you can
it.
see
It's a back
both
and
of them
forth.
are really eye to eye on this one. And that's what I like to see. You don't back down from a fight. I like that from Twisted. And for TLPH, it's Carl TZ trying to secure his birthright.
I don't think Liquid was sure Twisted was going to do that because 40 was still in the bottom lane when Twisted said go.
Yeah.
So it feels like they were forced to do it
Yep.
at that point.
Yeah, and Lanzu, again, doing such a great job at just making sure they have enough space to move around with. Oh, the Phantom Steed got used again.
Yeah, dude, Carl can't take Lanzo alone, so this man-to-man wasn't going to lead to much. That's just why Twisted Minds have turned the map. Blue Kaloy down to a fourth of his health. Pops a quick sand guard. JP very low. Not enough burst coming in from MP. Lord is taken care of, but wait. Twisted Minds not done with it. They escort a wave in and they get the push.
Oh, they try to push in. MP the King. Nice attempt there on Sanji. Almost got him, actually.
Sneaky Carl committed Grand Theft Purple, but he will not get the push in mid. So at least
Yeah.
Liquid able to equalize.
Yeah, somehow. Liquiders are leading by 1 turret because they got the tier 1 in mid for against or off of Twisted Minds. But MP the King, so far in this game, this is the version you get when there's little to no disturbance in terms of his jungling, in terms of his farming. And the entries that he does since like the first minute of the game have made things a lot more difficult for Daiki, have made things a lot more difficult for Sanji. JP, yes, he's in front of everyone, but MP the King, he's not someone you get to easily spot.
Big conceal!
By JP, plus a Crimson Beacon. Where are you going? What's the answer? The RWM from Sean, trying his best, but it's not going to save Nosha. Carl finds Nosha. And now underneath tier 2 in mid, he gets a slam on the Kaloy. Daiki gets him. Sean falls, so does MP. Daiki gets a double. Where's the recalls, young gun?
Oh my goodness, that Lance Shaker coming in clutch from Sanford, stunning 3 members of Twisted Minds who were trying to run
There
away.
it is!
Oh my god!
There it is! The
He's doing
big
it.
horse flexing.
Oh man,
And
look
they're
at that.
inside the base. I don't think Lancer can defend. Glory's pathway, plus the Lantern Flare. In comes Carl and the rest of Liquid as they take game number 1.
Excellent take here. Team Liquid Philippines very much in form for game 1. They took Twisted by surprise in that last one. Didn't see it coming.
Twisted surprised us too though. Like the way they played that back and forth against Liquid, it looked like a really close game, but every single time Liquid with just a single call for a big play and that one straight push towards ending the game. It's so hard to just like find when is it or feel when is it gonna happen if you're against Liquid.
Yeah, I mean Liquid basically played this toe-to-toe for most parts of the game until 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, Liquid swaps it out. They go for a sneaky tactic, a guerrilla tactic.
Like this. Like that's I think the first call that Liquid did, because the thing about these calls that they do is that they're always on the same page. Like there's no one member who feels hesitant, who stays a bit too far behind. And similar to what we're seeing in this last sequence, Liquid, they went all in. And we're loving the recalls, but you have to give it to JP as the game MVP, that Hylos, who from the very beginning restricted the movements Ikalid could do in the early game.
I think he was a huge anchor in this one, especially if JP was low, we can't make a play, right? It had to be JP, he needed to be in a good form, he needed to be in good shape, and then we go for something.
Yeah. And how many times did he almost die but did not die? A huge part of it was the combo of the Revitalize and the Glorious Pathway to save him, but there were moments...
And the Elegant Gem.
Yeah, and the Elegant Gem. But
Saves you a lot.
There were moments where even during that one fight that happened down bottom, close to their base turret, he looked as if he definitely was gonna go down there, but he didn't, and Liquid could just keep going.
Yeah, there was very few moments here where Carl DZ would be slacking. Look at these engagements, very decisive, fighting it out even under the turret.
That is undeniable synergy from the Patriarch of Liquid. Daddy Cakes duo, they're doing it again.
Daddy Cakes.
They've done it all throughout
It's a thing.
2025 and even in 2026.
Yeah, even way back then, right? Daddy Cakes is just a thing. We gotta make that a thing now.
Yeah.
Because
What do you mean?
you can tell.
It's been a thing all this time.
For how many seasons?
Since season 14.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
I can tell.
The 15, I take that back.
They were so good. They were so good at it. And I
Yeah.
think when Daddy makes a play, the Cakes makes it. Follows through.
Something like that.
Something like I'll I'll workshop. Thank you so much.
Sound
we
like that.
workshop. Yeah.
Nice try.
No, because there are a lot of like duos we could point out in the entire game. Even JB and Sanji, I feel there was that one play they did with the conceal, where they just jumped onto Sean, and at the time I think it was Nausea or Kaloy, and that was one of the moments where things slowly started to turn around for Team Liquid Philippines.
But you know what? I take it back. I think there really is just something to tweak when it comes to our buff counters.
Buff counter, why?
Oh,
Our buff counters need to be updated. Like this
Because
is,
of the side stick.
it wasn't the side stealing from earlier today.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure MP the King had a healthy amount of oranges and purples.
yeah, there was no crossing the river, so
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember Brigida actually said that, you know what, they're not really stopping MP the King that much on the farm, but
no.
there were a lot of times where they would actually just disrupt the purple.
Yeah,
That was all they were trying to block out.
just the purple.
yeah.
But a lot of times, and even that one moment when they were trying to take away the orange buff, MP still